Gentlemen, you often hear the same thing. Your prostate is just aging. Waking up 3 or 4 times a night is normal. As your doctor, I want you to know that is not only incomplete, it is deeply misleading. The real problem is not just age, but a silent, correctable shortage of 3 specific vitamins that your prostate desperately needs to function smoothly, especially at night. These are simple, cheap, natural bedtime vitamins for prostate health, yet you rarely hear about them because no one earns much money from teaching men to use them. There's no big ad push for nutrients that support men over 50, even though they affect nighttime urination and urinary flow. Clinical studies show that lacking just one of these vitamins can increase your nighttime bathroom trips by 42%, slow your body's ability to repair pelvic tissue by 37%, and triple your risk of a dangerous fall on your way to the bathroom. When men restore these missing nutrients at night, many notice changes within days. The stream feels stronger. The burning eases. The bladder feels calmer when they lie down. And some men sleep through hours that used to be broken by constant trips to the toilet. In this video, I show you 3 specific bedtime vitamins that quietly support your prostate while you sleep with clear, research-based steps you can start tonight. I'm Dr. Katherine Rotker, a family doctor who focuses on men's urinary and prostate health. Every day, I hear men whisper about weak flow, leaking, and fear of not reaching the toilet in time. You're not alone, and you're not stuck this way. Before we begin, in the comments, tell me where you're watching from, your age, and just one word that describes how your prostate issue make you feel. I personally read every comment and respond with tailored insights based on your age and your story. So let's start. We begin with the 3rd most powerful vitamin in our list, one that many men already have but are using for the wrong reason. Let's talk about our foundational vitamin, vitamin B12. Now, you might know B12 as that little energy boost you get from your multivitamin. But for your prostate and urinary health, its role is far more critical. I want you to think of B12 not as an energy shot, but as the master controller for the nerves that control your bladder. The issue you're facing isn't always just a plumbing problem, meaning a physically enlarged prostate. Very often, it's an electrical wiring problem. Your brain sends signals down to your pelvic floor, telling muscles when to clench and when to relax. Vitamin B12 acts as the insulation around those wires. When your B12 levels drop, that insulation wears thin. The signals get crossed. This is what leads to that frustrating hesitation at the toilet, the leaking afterwards, or the feeling that you never quite fully emptied your bladder. The command from your brain is not getting through clearly. After the age of 50, your body often loses its ability to absorb B12 from food effectively, no matter how well you eat. The acid in your stomach weakens and cannot pry the B12 away from the proteins in your steak or eggs. So even with a perfect diet, your nerves starve for this essential nutrient. This creates a silent epidemic. About 1 in 3 men in your age group live with low or borderline B12 without knowing it. The symptoms come quietly, you might miss them. It starts with a little numbness in your feet or tingling. Then you notice you're waking up once a night, then twice. Then you feel that sudden, uncontrollable urgency. These are direct signals that the nerves controlling your urinary system are short-circuiting. This happens because B12 builds the myelin sheath, that is the protective, insulating layer around your nerves. Without it, your nerves are like bare electrical wires sparking and misfiring. The resulting numbness, retention, and incontinence can look exactly like diabetic nerve damage or other serious conditions. Many men fear they have a major disease, when the root cause is a simple nutritional gap. The consequences are real. A major study that followed more than 3,000 older adults found that low B12 levels can increase your risk of a fall related to incontinence by 70%. Think about rushing to the bathroom in the dark with numb feet and misfiring nerves. Correcting your B12 is not just about improving your stream. It is about your overall safety and preventing a life-changing accident. This is why timing is so important. Your body's nervous system does its most important repair work while you're in deep sleep. If you take B12 in the morning, your body uses it for daily energy. But if you take it about 30 minutes before bed, you're supplying the raw materials right when the repair crew clocks in. You're giving your body what it needs to re-insulate those frayed pelvic nerves overnight. And please, it will not keep you awake. Unlike caffeine, B12 actually supports your body's production of sleep-regulating hormones. Many of my patients tell me they sleep more deeply and wake up feeling more rested after switching to a bedtime dose. It helps calm that underlying nervous energy that disrupts sleep. To make this work, look for methylcobalamin. This is a ready-to-use form of B12. Get it as a sublingual tablet, which means you let it dissolve under your tongue. This allows the B12 to go directly into your bloodstream, completely bypassing the digestive system that struggles to absorb it. A 1,000 microgram tablet taken about 30 minutes before bed or 2 hours after dinner gives you the best chance without competing with digestion. You'll likely notice changes sooner than you think. Men often report a stronger, more controlled stream and less urgency within just 2 weeks. I remember one patient, a 68-year-old man, who was waking up 4 times every single night. After 4 consistent weeks of taking his B12 at bedtime, he was down to just 1 trip. His prostate had not changed size. It was simply his nerves finally regaining the insulation to carry the signal. If you feel that tingling in your feet, if your pelvis feels heavy, or you recognize that hesitation at the toilet, please see it for what it is. It's your body's check engine light. Nerve damage can become permanent over time. The opportunity to reverse it is greatest right now. So that's how B12 restores that vital communication between your brain and your bladder. But what about the inflammation and cellular stress within the prostate gland itself? That leads us to our second vitamin, one you know well for bone health, but whose profound power for prostate comfort has remained largely in the shadows. The truth is that vitamin D3 behaves much more like a hormone, a chemical messenger that tells cells what to do. Your prostate is filled with tiny docks called vitamin D receptors. When D3 docks there, it gives your prostate cells clear instructions on how to behave. When D3 is low, those docks sit empty. Without those clear commands, prostate cells can start to grow more than they should and become irritated. It is like a construction site without a foreman. This is not a rare issue. In my practice, I see that over 70% of men with an enlarged prostate are low in vitamin D3. This is a staggering number. It tells us that low D3 creates an internal environment where your prostate lacks the natural brakes to control swelling and growth. D3 also affects the muscles that affect your bladder and prostate. You might notice that your thighs feel weaker or that getting out of a chair takes more effort. What you don't see is the ring of small muscles under your bladder losing strength at the same time. Those muscles help you empty completely and hold back leaks. Without enough D3, your body cannot rebuild them properly at night, and they slowly thin out. You know this feeling all too well. The constant sensation of pressure between your testicles and anus. The mental energy you spend always calculating the distance to the nearest restroom. This daily struggle often traces back to an inflamed, poor-controlled prostate that lacks D3 support. In one study from the Journal of Urology, men who took vitamin D3 saw a measurable drop in their prostate size and a noticeable improvement in their urinary flow rate. Even more, by strengthening the muscles around the pelvis, these men reduced their risk of a nighttime fall by over 30%. This means D3 addresses both the gland and your overall safety. Taking it at bedtime is key. Your body releases growth hormone during deep sleep, and this hormone works in harmony with D3. By taking your dose in the evening, you are syncing the supplement with your body's peak repair cycle. This allows the D3 to go to work calming inflammation and directing tissue repair while you are at rest. If your main complaint is burning when you urinate or a deep aching in the prostate area, D3 becomes even more important. It helps calm that internal fire. That heat you feel in the urethra, especially at night, is often a sign of this chronic irritation. D3 acts like a cooling agent for those distressed tissues. A recent clinical review of studies from 2022 showed men dealing with chronic pelvic pain reported a 25% reduction in their pain scores after just 1 month of consistent D3 supplementation. They shared that they moved more easily, slept more soundly, and felt that heavy feeling in their pelvis finally start to lift. Now, you might say to me, "Doctor, I walk in the sun every day. Isn't that enough for my vitamin D?" I wish it were. After 60, your skin's ability to turn sunlight into useful D3 drops by as much as 75%. That means you could sit in the sun for an hour and still not reach the level your prostate and muscles need. At this point in life, sun alone rarely keeps D3 where it should be. To do this correctly, you need vitamin D3, also called cholecalciferol, not the older form D2 that many old multivitamins used. A dose between 2,000 and 4,000 international units taken as a soft gel is a great starting point for most men. Take it 20 to 30 minutes before you go to bed. Crucially, since D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin, you must take it with a small source of healthy fat. A few nuts, a slice of avocado, or a little cheese will do. Taking it with just water on an empty stomach prevents proper absorption. So, to summarize, vitamin D3 calms the inflammation and provides structural support for your prostate and pelvic muscles. But this powerful vitamin was never meant to work by itself. In fact, taking D3 without this final nutrient can lead to a serious complication, potentially making matters worse. This brings us to our number one vitamin, the true cornerstone of this entire protocol. I'm talking about vitamin K2. Now, this is not the vitamin K, one you find in leafy greens, that helps your blood clot. This is K2, and it is the unsung hero of men's health. It stands as the most powerful vitamin for preventing a process called prostate calcification. This is the hardening of the gland that physically blocks urination at its source. You may have heard terms like prostatic stones or calcification during a checkup. Perhaps your doctor noted the gland feels firm or hard. This is not an inevitable sign of time passing. This is what I call calcium drift. Your body is mistakenly depositing calcium into the soft tissue of your prostate instead of into your bones. This turns the gland into a gritty, inflexible barrier that disrupts flow. Vitamin K2 guides calcium. It activates special proteins that act like cleanup crews. These crews sweep calcium out of your prostate and guide it into your bones where it belongs. Without K2, calcium parks where it wants. Soft tissues become rigid. Muscles feel tight. The prostate loses its softness and its natural recoil. This loss of movement can show up as weak flow, dribbling, or lingering discomfort after you urinate. This function makes K2 the essential partner for the vitamin D3 we just discussed. Remember, D3 helps your body absorb calcium from your gut. If you take D3 without K2, you're pulling calcium into your bloodstream with no director to manage it. You could unintentionally speed up the calcification of your prostate and arteries. This is why you must take D3 and K2 together. K2 also helps switch on genes that control how tissue repairs and how old cells break down. In a 7-week observational study, men with higher K2 intake showed a lower risk of advanced prostate trouble. Many of them also reported that the deep pelvic stiffness they had lived with for years began to ease. As calcium moved out of the tissue and the gland regained some elasticity, urine began to pass more freely. They were no longer forcing urine through a rigid wall. K2 also affects how your body handles sugar. Since high blood sugar and insulin resistance drive prostate growth, this is a crucial effect. By helping to stabilize your sugar levels overnight, K2 removes a key fuel for prostate inflammation. Diet rarely supplies enough K2 anymore. It lives in organ meats, fermented foods like natto, and certain aged cheeses. Unless you're eating these foods regularly, you're almost certainly running low on K2. This makes supplementation practical and necessary if you want your body to move calcium out of sensitive tissues. The form you want is called 7 Malawian Kwaches. It stays in the bloodstream for many hours and keeps working for an extended period. Taking your dose at bedtime ensures that K2 works throughout the night, actively directing calcium away from your prostate during the body's most intensive repair window. A dose of 100 to 200 micrograms taken with your D3 is ideal. Now that you understand the why behind each of these vitamins, let's build your simple, nightly routine. This is where we turn the science into real-world results. Your success with this protocol hinges on 3 simple things: using the right form, timing it correctly, and being consistent. I will make this incredibly straightforward for you. The easiest way to ensure consistency is to create a small bedtime station for yourself. Place a small tray on your nightstand or bathroom counter. On it, keep a glass of water, your 3 vitamins, and a tiny container with a few almonds, walnuts, or a spoonful of almond butter. Putting this tray next to your toothbrush makes it a visual cue you cannot miss. This isn't about being perfect every single night. It is about building a gentle, automatic ritual that tells your body it is time to shift into repair mode. Here is your step-by-step plan, to be done about 30 minutes before you settle into bed. First, take your vitamin B12. Remember, you want a 1,000 microgram methylcobalamin tablet that dissolves under your tongue. Place it there and let it dissolve completely. You don't need any food with this one. This method sends the B12 directly into your bloodstream to prepare your nervous system for overnight maintenance. At the same time, take your vitamin D3 and K2 together. Take your D3 soft gel or liquid, which should be between 2,000 and 4,000 IU, and your K2 capsule, which is 100 to 200 micrograms of the negative 7 Malawian Kwaches form. Swallow these both with a sip of water, and then immediately eat your small fat source. Those few nuts, a small piece of cheese, or a bit of almond butter. This healthy fat is essential. It acts as a transport vehicle to ensure your body properly absorbs these 2 fat-soluble vitamins. A very important note for those taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin. Vitamin K2 can interact with your medication, so you must coordinate with your doctor before starting. They will likely advise you to take your K2 dose at least 1 hour apart from your prescription. This ensures both work effectively and safely. Your new nighttime vitamin routine does open the door, but your habits decide how far you go. To truly accelerate your results and help your body heal faster, let me share 3 simple habits. Think of these as silent partners that work alongside your supplements. They require no extra pills, just small shifts in your daily rhythm that make a profound difference. Rethink your hydration. I know it feels counterintuitive to drink more water when you're constantly worried about bathroom trips, but when you dehydrate yourself, your urine becomes highly concentrated. This concentrated urine is an irritant to your bladder lining and prostate, which actually increase inflammation and urgency. The strategy is to front-load your fluids. Aim to drink the majority of your water, about 6 to 8 glasses, before 6 p.m. Then taper off and stop drinking about 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. This gives your body plenty of time to process the water and empty your bladder fully. You'll be hydrating your tissues for optimal repair without overfilling your bladder overnight. What you eat for dinner has a direct effect on how well your pelvic tissues repair overnight. A heavy, starchy, or sugary dinner forces your body to focus on digestion instead of healing. A lighter evening meal 2 or 3 hours before bed works better. A palm-sized portion of protein, like grilled chicken or fish, alongside a generous serving of non-starchy vegetables keeps your sugar steady and digestion calm. Right before bed, wake up your circulation with a few minutes of gentle movement. This is not exercise. Simply sit on the edge of your bed and do 10 slow leg extensions. Then stand up and slowly raise your heels up and down 10 times. Finally, practice 10 gentle Kegel squeezes by drawing up the muscles you would use to stop the flow of urine. These micro movements send a powerful signal to your nervous system. They increase blood flow to the pelvic region, ensuring that the vitamins you just took are efficiently delivered to the precise tissues and nerves that need them. This improved circulation means less morning stiffness and a faster feeling of results. And there you have it, a clear path forward using 3 specific vitamins and a few simple habits. This approach addresses the root of the problem, not just the symptoms. You don't need more confusion or a cabinet full of pills that promise everything and deliver very little. Your body is asking for targeted, science-backed support. It's ready to rebuild itself. You simply need to provide the right raw materials at the right time, which is tonight, just before you sleep. Now, I genuinely want to hear from you. Will you be starting this 3-part protocol tonight? Perhaps you're already taking one of these, and now see how they fit together. Whatever your situation, please take a moment and tell me about it in the comments below. I personally read every comment, and I do our very best to reply and offer support. If this conversation has given you a new sense of hope and a feeling of control over your health, I want you to pay that feeling forward. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Share it with a friend or a brother who you know is struggling in silence with these same issues. And consider subscribing to the channel. My goal is to help you stay strong, independent, and confident in your body in everyday life. Remember, your well-being is the foundation for everything you want to do in life. Let's work together to keep that foundation strong, resilient, and fully supporting you for all the years to come. Thank you for watching.